superhero types rocking the mic. All the first evers, has-beens, and never words. Let's get it. It's the long-awaited moment when it all comes into focus, like the coming of the locust or the opening of the lotus, unfolding from the shadows to photosynthesize this, converting light into sound. Eardrum kiss, bliss sinks in to shock your system for days. We refract and prism like rainbows on rainy days, and she say, let there be light. We luminous waves cutting through the darkness of the night, in spite of the indomitable might of the isms, the schism of feminism. Still we have risen, flight high enough to punch these fools in the gut, busting glass ceilings 'cause we've had enough. All the ladies in the house, I'm proud of y'all. When you pick up the mic, you rip it raw. No apologies while you standing tall. Brush that dirt off your shoulder when you fall. Underestimated, but you got it all. Oppressed by Neanderthal, but you rise 'cause they minds are small. Girl, you gonna make it after all. Girl, you gonna make it, no quit now. Girl, you gonna make it, no matter how. Girl, you gonna make it, no quit now. Girl, you gonna make it, you gonna make it. This one goes out to all the
World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone!
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again?
swung on, bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over on a live shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
All right, welcome in everybody after a really awesome game set last night versus Spliff and Billy that brought us a split on that side of the semifinals bracket. We've got a really spicy matchup tonight against a couple of really big heavy hitters, and obviously we've got Mystery Man here in the booth with you. Everyone loves to see him in the booth, and he's going to have some great commentary. How you doing tonight, Mist?
I'm doing good. Had some really interesting games myself today. But nothing's going to compare to this. This is one of those matchups we've been just dying for in AAA. Everyone who's both of the semis, they were going to be good no matter what. I really think that we had such a good crew heading into the playoffs. But just checking out some of the keys to the game here. Offensive firepower, obviously. That kind of goes with number 4 there, which is comeback potential. I don't think either of these players down 3 or 4. There is some players down 3 or 4. It's going to really be uphill. But for these 2, 3 or 4, especially early in the game, is just getting loose and warmed up. Least innings, largest RD. So they both have mercy ruled quite a few people. That's why they have the least innings. And big run differential. Snow, of course, has a huge run differential. I believe you said Elron is 3rd. And then Elron's at Golden and Snowbird is at Founders Field. So both of these are kind of medium small fields. Founders kind of has that funky right center field. A great stadium, though. And since I'm Founders gang, I guess I necessarily have to root for Snow here.
Yeah, you touched all the points, and you're going to have the most to say about these two as you played them this year, and you know the most about the AAA, but I'll give just a quick synopsis of my opinions on them. Like we said, the offensive firepower and comeback potential goes hand in hand, the way both of these two can bat, and Snowbird was head and shoulders above the rest of the league in terms of run scoring for the season, but whenever you look at the stats, right there in 3rd behind Billy is Elron, so you're looking at 2 of the top 3 scorers in the AAA, and I'm sure that's going to produce a lot of high-scoring games in this series, obviously, and so that should be exciting. Then that even like pretty much everything ties. Holy crap! Hang on a second, my robot vacuum is sucking up my cord. Anyways. And when you look at the least innings, largest run differentials, that goes hand in hand with the power, because whenever you have the type of batting prowess that these two have, some games I'm sure without looking at all the box scores were over in the 2nd or 3rd inning because they put up 5 and 5 or something like that, and home field plays into that because, like you said, medium and to small parks and pretty similar parks in the fence depth, they are actually both 370. So there's a pretty notable difference in the runs scored and the run differential between these two for the season, but being top 3 in the league, it shows Elron has that potential to possibly match the power that Snowbird has, and this isn't like the other side of the bracket. The other side's got a 6 and a 10 seed in there, kind of as you would expect in the AAA this season with the parity, seeing some lower seeds, but this side's got some of the top dogs. You got 1 seed in Snowbird and the 5 seed in Elron, so it's gonna be a crazy matchup. And yesterday's was great. You love to see a split on the first day. So we've got the games pre-recorded for you. You're not gonna have to worry about any DCs or anything like that. We've already got 4 games played behind the scenes, but we don't know anything ahead of time. We try to keep it under wraps and give some genuine takes and everything like that. But tonight, yeah, games 1 and 2. I bet we see some really high-scoring games, and if these guys get down 5 or 6, if either of them get down 5 or 6, don't go anywhere. Hold on to your chair because these two can easily make that up in 1 inning. So we're gonna switch everything over and then get the game turned on, and I hope y'all enjoyed as much as we're gonna. It's gonna be a great start to this left side of the bracket for the AAA semifinals on your AAA Final Four week here in the XBL. Sorry, y'all, my screen capture is not working. Y'all just give me a second. Sorry about that. Okay. I think everything should be working now. Y'all let me know if it's not working. For some reason my screen capture was black, so I switched it up. But we are loading into Founders Field. Yeah, home field advantage for Snowbird and the Black Roses being that #1 seed. And like we said in the pregame, not sure exactly how much
The stands are filling up here
home
at
field advantage is
Founders
going to mean in this
Field.
series because
Who's
there's such
ready
similar
for some
stadiums.
dingers? Let's go!
Both these players being such powerful batters. I bet we see some high scoring games.
Center field.
Do you want to share that in here for me?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mist.
So yeah, this is a great time of day here. It's not the day setting. This is kind of the semi-evening setting. Very easy to see the ball. I think both players should do well.
Yeah, some stadiums I definitely feel like the lighting can throw me off, but daytime in Founders Field is very friendly to hitters. Here we're going to see on the mound for Snowbird. Oh my gosh, why does everyone in this league make such ridiculous last names I can't pronounce? I know that's above my pay
Melissa
grade.
Dunions.
Okay,
It's Melissa Dunions.
Dunions, there it is. But she's got great velo and decent junk and accuracy. 5.8 ERA, which has been the problem for both of these teams throughout the season. They don't have great ERAs. They win at the plate, so we'll see how that plays out in this series.
You know, Uni, this is a reminder that you're just a young pup in the XBL. Kara Melissa Dunion's been destroying people for as long as I can remember. As Snow was there, either she came in my season or maybe she came in a couple seasons before. But yeah, this has always been a brutal pitcher. So I think Kara's always been her best bet to dominate on the mound. You can see that arsenal is what a lot of people like to work with, including myself.
And off rip with only 1 out so far. We've got 2 on for Elron and the help deskers. Elron, I believe, is a rookie, isn't he?
No, he is not. He has played 1 previous season, and he's played a few cups. Always been a strong hitter, not quite as much of a pitcher.
Yeah, and like you brought up with Snowbird and this pitcher, the very typical arsenal that we see throughout all 3 leagues in the XBL, that 4-seam cutter, changeup, and curveball, that 4-pitch combo. And there's a walk, and only with 1 out, Elron and the help deskers got the bases loaded, and just like we promised, the scoring is looking to get started early here. And I said something in the general chat right before the set started. I expect like a 20-19 type of ball game, the way these two can hit and the way that they both struggle on the mound a little bit. We might be in for a couple of 2-hour games, the way that these two can score.
Oh, yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit of nerves here from Snowbird.
Number 48.
When you're rocking that composed trait, you can't be walking people, right? I mean, you just can't.
Yeah, if you're going to run that trait, you got to take advantage of it. Oh, and she's able to get out of this jam after the base is getting loaded for Elron right there.
Wow,
I think you see the
monster.
nerves on his side, getting a little happy feet at the plate with the bases loaded, seeing that he can bust this game wide open in the first. And when you're playing someone like Snowbird, a very Dynasty-esque season from her, from like we saw last season, the top dog, the 1 seed being such a good batter, you need to take advantage of those opportunities, but I'm sure Elron's going to have some more of them.
Yeah, and if Elron has one weakness, it is those happy feet. He wants to swing that bat, and if you can throw him anything that he likes, he's gonna come out of his shoes, which is one of the reasons he hits so many home runs and does a great job of being aggressive. But boy, that's a monster escape from Snowbird.
Yeah, talk about a big escape. I mean, you're in the very first inning of your semifinal and someone looks like they could put up 3 or 4 runs on you and you're able to squeeze out of it. That's huge for a momentum, no matter how many seasons you've played. I know Snowbird's got a lot of seasons in the league and not as successful as seasons as she's shown here, but that's huge for the confidence. And On the mound for the help deskers, he's got the same arsenal as the pitcher on the other side, but with that slider thrown in, we'll see how much he uses that.
Probably not too much. Tough batter here. Greensmith has a reputation. Takes the walk there. Not the worst walk of all time. But
boy, looking
now
at
he
play.
really got trouble.
Yeah, both teams drawing a walk here in the first inning, showing that eye. Pretty similar velo junk accuracy on these two starters as well. It's really a very mirror pitcher, and now we got a mirror start, but Elron makes a mistake out there in right field. Base rounder's engaged. Is that the man rounding third? It's not, but he's got enough speed. And there we go. Elron couldn't take advantage in the first, but Snowbird does, and shows why she's a little bit better in her runs scored per game. She's able to take advantage of those situations, and now it's 2-0. And Tent's already on the mound.
Yeah, and losing a little bit of velo against Snow is very magnified this season. So, good
job holding the runner there.
Yeah, good play there.
Not even just the stats on these pitchers, but they nearly have identical ERAs in the playoffs as well. This is such a similar pitcher build, and then you've got two great batters. This is truly like the most even type of game you could set up for a semifinal. Is he going to go home? He's going to send it home with a good throw. Second, but a bad throw.
Slow.
And now we're in a diddle.
Oh, not a bad try, but...
What is the speed on that, man?
Yeah. Not the person you want hung out to dry like that.
I think it was the right idea by Snowbird there, but no speed rounding first. But Elron's able to not let the damage be too bad. You're happy only giving up 2 in any inning against Snowbird, really. You know she's going to score. If you're Elron, he's got power like that. I don't know if that one's going to reach the field. It's at the warning track. Able to snag it out there, happenstance.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me. I don't think either of these are particularly good fielders. And we know I'm the last one to point that out, as the mirror would tend to point back at myself. But you know, these are hitters. Period. They're not fielders. They're not pitchers. So yeah, two runs in one inning is no big deal. You have to avoid 6-7 in any inning.
Right. Oh, and a good cutter on the outside, able to get the strikeout. Here's great stuff at the plate. We got to start putting a letter limit on these last names. That's a good. She earned that letter limit though. 7, 8 letters, and it's a double. That might help the mojo back out after giving up 2 in the first.
It wasn't really that bad a pitch. She went out after a good ball on the outside part of the plate and punched it.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet we see a good handful of pitcher hits here tonight in this set.
I would think so, yeah. Yeah, the size of the reticles is not going to bother these folks. They're going to try to get on that ball.
Right. 3-1 count here. Looking to see maybe if she wants to walk. Pitches to him, able to get the line out to third, and another clean inning from Snowbird. Even on the hits, but Elron not able to push any of those runners across, leaving 4 on the bases now through 2.
Yeah, you know, both players fortunate. We haven't really seen location from the pitcher. Another case of a total cupcake being lobbed in there. A cutter that doesn't even get off the plate.
Yeah, and that can be a dangerous pitch in this league. Everyone loves to put the cutter on their pitcher, but when you're running that half-turtle arsenal, as you like to call it, a misplaced cutter sometimes is the juiciest pitch for anyone to hit.
Yeah, especially anybody with a quick bat. You can't not get cutters off the plate.
What a catch, and he's going to double him up. No, he made a mistake. He's still able to get it, the double play unconventionally. And a great dive from the shortstop over there on really what should have been an out on a inside cutter that was swung on, and it turns into a double play. Elron made the mistake in the field in the first inning, but right there shows his glove, shows his arm off, even despite the mistake, throwing it to second, able to get the double play.
Yeah, but we do have to call out that runner who seemed to be running in quicksand, trying to get back to first base. Almost like, you know, one of those dream sequences where you can't quite get to where you want to go.
It seems like a couple of Snowbirds runners already think they're a little bit faster than they are. Getting caught on the base pass here. Missed curveball here. There's going to be a walk. And I was really happy that these two sent me both of their POVs for this game 1 and 2. I'm really I'm really interested to see exactly how they reticle on the mound, because we know they can struggle with their runs against per 9. And so far, from Elron's perspective, you're seeing he's had a few misses location-wise. And against batters like these two, even a well-placed pitch can be taken advantage of. You definitely don't want to miss. And there's a good job by Elron, though. He gets out of the inning cleanly. Both of them get one runner on in the second, but no runs scored.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 9.
Ace Exterminator activated.
Yeah, that's always an interesting trait to see, and it activates big when it does, as you can see.
Yeah. Oh, and a cutter way outside, and he gets she gets the chase. Sorry, Snow, I misspeak a lot. That one swung on well. Curveball, another one of the warning track. Not going to be enough for Elron. 2 quick outs in this inning. Already locked in is what position is this? Why is he locked in already? Not going to be now. Weak ground out to first, and just 3 or 4 pitches, I think, right there in the third. And Snowbird gets to come back up to the plate, and that can be dangerous. Against a really good batter, I think the best way to keep them from locking in is taking your time at the plate and not letting them get back up and get into a rhythm when they come up to bat.
That's inside.
Yeah, and one good thing for both players, I think, here, Uni, is, I think there was some early nerves. I think we're far enough in now that they've kind of settled down, and neither of them is way behind because of the nerves. This is might as well be even.
Yeah, that's what I think. Such an even series, especially this game, with how identical these starters are. And worth noting how fast these two are playing. It's pretty difficult to even commentate on how the game's going for more than just a couple seconds before something else starts happening. The way these two are able to put contact on the ball. There's a weak grounder to shortstop over there. It's the shortstop for Elron that's locked in after that diving double play.
Yeah, if there's one thing I want to point out, Uni, that I probably could have mentioned in the pregame, is I think Elron invites the velo a bit more than Snow does. Snow is absolutely deadly on mid pitchers and even low pitchers, whereas Elron, I think he kind of prefers that fastball coming in there. So as these starting monster pitchers tire, it is going to play to the advantage of Snowbird. And it's still going to come down to pin, but I'm just saying, from a starter perspective, the longer you go with these same starters, the more it plays to the favor of Snow.
Well, and what a good point that I would have never known. That's why you're so great in these AAA boosts, because little stuff like that. I would have never thought, but that's something we need to keep an eye on as we get into the middle to late innings. Is maybe Snowbird starts to pick it up even more batting wise when the velo drops. Elron swings at another ball right there. He's reaching a little bit. We talked about the nerves maybe being settled down a little bit, and that might be the case, but he's got to lock in that zone here. 0 runs in the 4th inning is a recipe for disaster against Snowbird. She's only got 2 right now, but you almost need to get your runs and put the pressure on her, because she's good for 5 or 6, or if you look at her average, she's good for 12.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Elron, I'm pretty happy here, because I'm saying, okay, I'm the 5 seed, she's the 1 seed.
Number 11.
I'm down 2, but we basically are playing pretty even here. So I just want to make sure I'm focusing on my game and not worrying about the score.
Right. We've got 2 on here with 1 out after. Oh, hang on. There's a shallow pop out right field, but yeah, 2 on with 2 outs now after Snowbird tried to make the identical diving play that Elron made over there with the shortstop. Wasn't able to get to it. Pitcher's going to be up in a big spot here, but was able to hit a double her last time up. Sees a couple balls coming now. Velo dropping, all the stats dropping for Snowbird's pitcher. There's the ground out, and once again, 3 of the 4 innings, Elron's had people on bases and not able to convert them. It's going to be sooner rather than later, I'm sure, that we see the power really show up in this game. Neither has a home run yet. Both of these two can really send the ball out of the stadium.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. That was a good swing by Great Stuff. She actually reticled that up pretty good, but she was above it slightly, and we know what that turns into.
Right.
When you don't have much power, you can't just hit the ball on the ground. Unless you nub it, you have a better chance of nubbing it than kind of lining it.
Right. Ooh, and a good walk there. Full count, got a changeup that might have looked a little juicy on her end, but able to lay off of it. Now we're up to 49 pitches, and like you brought up, the velo is just now starting to drop for the starter. That one's hit pretty quickly down the right side, and this could be dangerous now for the help deskers. There's no outs with 2 on. And
yeah, Labita really got a good swing on that.
Uh-oh, and it's going to find its way, and now they round the bases. And we're going to see one score. We're going to see the other ones hold up at second and third, and still no outs after a couple of weaker hits find their way over the infield and through the infield. And it's so difficult to get 3 outs in a row on Snowbird, so when you see somebody on base with no outs, you almost can guarantee she's going to put one across in that inning. Looking at the bullpen now. Really similar stats here coming in for clean install. Same pitches other than two-seam rather than cutter.
Yeah, and locked-in pitcher is more than enough for Snowbird here. She's got a good start to this inning.
Kind of surprised she's leaving the pitcher in here. She's up around 70 pitches now, I believe.
That's inside.
And definitely losing some of her stats, but hasn't given up a run yet, so you can't talk down on it. And that one's hit deep right field. A starting pitcher. Don't take her out. Don't take her out. There she is.
Come on, man.
3-run home run from Snowbird's pitcher, and man, she's got the shutout going, and now she's got a 3-run Jimmy John.
We're having fun now.
Man, oh man, we were waiting to see it. I didn't expect it to come out of the pitcher, but I can't say I'm surprised. That really blows this game wide open. There's still no outs in this inning, and Snowbirds pushed 4 across here in the bottom of the 4th. Game 1 of your semifinals.
And the worst thing you can do with either one of these types of players is start the merry-go-round before there's even been 1 out made, because it tends to turn into this.
Yeah, and Elron now walks a batter, and we're seeing the location definitely be a struggle, and what really hurts Elron here is he brought in that RP and instantly gave up the home run. Already tense, already seeing the velo drop, and location really struggling, and another deep one right field, and that one's going to find its way out as well. Going into the concession stands, throw that one in with a beer and a hot dog. It's 8-0.
Yeah, she just leaned into it. It was so easy for her. So, again, momentum.
And there, finally the first out before we can catch our breath. Swings on the first pitch, wanting another home run. Now we finally got 1 out, but not without giving up 6 runs so far. We'll see if Snowbird's got any more in her. We're getting into that run rule territory early in the bottom of the 4th. But I think, like we brought up in the pregame, in a series like this, more than any series, 8 runs is doable for these two. If you're down, like 8 runs is doable. We're not in the 7th, 8th inning right now. We're in the middle innings. Elron needs to survive this, get back up to the plate, and show that he can indeed score 8 runs of his own. It's got to locate better than that, though.
Yeah, for these two, it has to at least be the 7th inning to even be concerned. You just gotta block out what the score is. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the score is. You got to focus on your stuff. But you know what I think we're seeing here, Unicorn, is that series that Snowbird had, that brutal series against Burning Ice. I think that toughened her up, and I think she's focused here.
All right, really good point.
Because that type of a series where she showed a lot of character to come through. When I think there was, I guarantee you, there was a couple points where it really looked like Burning Ice had it. And she absolutely locked in. And once you've done that a few times, you start to have confidence that I can do it.
Right, and what a great matchup to get through Burning Ice, because anyone else you face in the playoffs is not going to be as strong of a pitcher, and you feel more comfortable at the plate. Elron's able to get a man on base now with no outs, and Against someone like Snow, you almost think he's got to get some runs across right here. This thing could be over here in the 5th, and that's not the recipe for it. He grounds it to shortstop over to second to first, and it's going to be a double play. Everything going wrong for Elron, and I'm surprised this pitcher on the mound for Snowbird's not on fire after that 3-run dinger and the way she's shutting out Elron. Trying to get one more out here. Cutter on the outside, 1-1. Fastball up and high, 2-2. Power versus lefties engaged. Fastball hitter on this hitter. Good eye there, and we got a full count. We'll see if she throws him a pitch. She does. He hits it deep left field. Is it going to have enough? He's found the warning track a couple times, and he does it again. Uh-oh, that one looked like it was out for sure to me.
Yeah, kind of a goofy step at the end there from, I think, Tight Thighs or whatever her name is. She had the big hit, but a good play to just, you don't want to give Elron any kind of momentum because he's that kind of a player.
This is going to be really interesting to see how Elron can respond on the mound here after giving up so many runs in that last inning and then getting shut down yet again. Can he hold this at 8 and get a chance to come back up to the plate? You got to know Elron knows himself well enough that he feels he has a chance in this. Another one down the left field line, just right inside that foul line, and a leadoff hit for the Black Roses again.
Yeah, but again, Uni, I think it goes back to what I just said, which is Snowbird was tested quite a bit harder than Elron was in the earlier, earlier series. When you get through a tough series in any playoffs, you've got that Superman across your chest, and you just feel like you can do it. And I think Elron is just kind of feeling his oats here at the plate. The plate's where it's showing up is that he's taking a few bad swings. He can't get some momentum, but once he settles down, he'll be okay.
All right. Struggling to locate with that accuracy dropping. Up to 31 pitches now. Was able to get the swinging strikeout on really a weak changeup in that last at-bat. And now he's able to get a pop-up here, and this is what you need if you're the help deskers. You got a couple outs. Just need to get one more here and get yourself back up to the plate and see if you can make some noise. Even if you can't get 8 in this game, you've got game 2 right behind you. You want to get some momentum going. Looks like he's going to try to get out of this inning with this pitcher as the 1 hole is up for the Black Roses. 2-0 count. Well located curveball here, and it lags, and that one works out in his favor.
That was the best biting curveball we've ever seen, Uni.
That had the double drop curveball. That's like I don't even know. Curveball, knuckleball.
I think Lazy would have probably hit it out, but anybody else would have been tied in knots.
Lazy would have sent that 550. He would have broke the record. Now we're seeing the substitution. I expected this. You've got 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Black Roses, and you can't give up a home run right here. Interesting to see who he brings in. I got a lot of 5-pitch arsenals even in his pen. He brings in the low velo, Ty Pittright. Normally you see this arsenal on a high velo pitcher, but the help deskers running it with low velo.
Yeah, no, it can be effective with low. There's nothing wrong. There's never anything wrong with a full turtle arsenal.
Diving play, huge.
The one thing I would say on that, Uni, is if you're going to run a turtle arsenal on a low velo, you're actually better off with the screwball than that 2 seam. Assuming I know XBL kind of limits it to 2, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And here's that shortstop that's locked in. Swings out a bad pitch down low. Maybe trying to do too much here. He gets struck out on the cutter again. If you're Elron here, you got to try to think, I just need to get people on base and go from there, because the way he's got power, if he can get a couple on, it can easily split this lead. Good curveball up high.
And the last one was a good one too. She's locating right now. That's putting a lot of pressure on him.
Right. I think without us seeing Snowbird's POV, it looks like she's really locating a lot better than Elron is right now. We'll see her side in game 2.
That was a good swing just to stay alive there. That was a brutal pitch.
Oh, that's a close curveball. Full count here. That one would have been close, but he swings at it. Does he have the speed? He doesn't. And back-to-back innings, Snowbird's able to turn a double play, and Snowbird, known for hitting, is shut down. One of the top batters in AAA here in our first game in the semifinals. Through 6.
Yeah, that was the pitch that you can't swing at, Uni, and I do think that Snowbird has a lot of experience playing against lower level AA type players that can get to anything. So she's a pretty good junk pitcher, and she knows when you're not patient, is what I'm saying. And right now Elron is not patient.
Oh, look at this batter's stats. Completely juiced up and a swing away from ending this game. This is a sketchy batter to throw to in this situation. 3-1 count. We've seen that the Black Roses get hitters count nearly every at bat. Now, this could be an action pitch. Curveball's going to find the zone. She swings. It's another one right field. Is it going to have enough? He jumps, and it doesn't have enough. And the Black Roses are going to win this one in a run rule. All 3 home runs coming to right field, and she shows exactly what she's all about with that run scoring. Elron left in the dust, not sure what to do after a game like that. What a great display of batting from Snowbird and the Black Roses, and really somewhat of a surprising display, but an impressive display on the mound.
Yeah, it was much closer than 10-0 would indicate, but even so, a pretty sound beating. Mostly because Snowbird was really locked in offensively, and I do think Elron, as great as he is, was a little bit flustered early, couldn't get any momentum, and then it just kind of spiraled downhill.
Yeah, I agree. It spiraled a little bit on Elron, especially in that 6-run inning. Well, a great game 1 from Snowbird, really showing why she's the #1 seed, and Elron, we're going to look to see his response as he walks into Golden Field in game 2 after this with the home field advantage, if that's the case in this series with such similar stadiums. But give us a minute. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to bring you game 2 right back at you, see if we can get a split like we saw last night, and another and game 2 of AAA semifinals. I'll catch y'all in a minute. All right, and now here we go. We're loading into Golden Field after a really impressive Game 1 victory from Snowbird. We're coming right back at you after just a couple-minute break. And that's the beauty of pre-recording. And we'll see if Elron's able to answer back here at his home field. We're going to see Snowbird's POV in the Black Roses. See exactly what she's thinking at the plate, exactly how she's locating on the mound. Another good pitcher on the mound starting. And Encryption. I don't know, Elron, I'm sorry. It's once again too many characters for me, but a good starter. Encryption, oh my gosh, how could I not have that one? That one should have been learned in like 5th grade. I gotta do better than that.
Yeah, we've got elite slider here for bit encryption, and so far, Snowbird having a little bit of trouble with that elite slider, which a little bit surprises me, but anybody can have trouble with an elite slider.
Right, decent arsenal, relatively similar ERA to his last starter. Was able to get the strikeout on the leadoff man, but there's the second batter comes up, puts one up center field. Now here comes Greensmith, power versus righties engaged. Fastball outside, well reticled, but a little late.
Yeah, we need to see better location from Elron. 2 out of 3 good pitches is not going to do it against, the monsters of the league.
Right, another one up center field there, and there's 2 on for the Black Roses now with just 1 out. And like you said, even with good location, Snowbird's going to score on you, especially with bad location. You're going to have a really difficult time winning. So I know Elron can locate. Maybe he's going to tune it in, lock it in a little bit here in Game 2. He kind of has to if he's got a chance to survive, even if he does bat well.
Yeah, and that last ball, that was a hit on a ball. That was just a crazy hit from Snowbird. That wasn't really on Elron.
Oh, the fastball, too much heat. A dangerous fastball, but gets by the strongest batter in the lineup, and now 2 outs. Third base, and barely goes foul, luckily enough for Elron. There's that elite slider. Gets a swing on the inside. Accuracy really high on Encryption as well. There's the fastball again, and there's going to be a 3rd out after getting a couple on. Elron is able to get out of the 1st inning in this game without giving up a run. And now he's coming up to the plate. Got shut out in that last game in Game 1. Snowbird, we'll see exactly how good her location is. Seemed really crisp from Elron's point of view.
Yeah, and this is one of those pitchers from Snowbird that can be extremely effective, but also has a bit of an awkward arsenal that typically works well against some and not so well against others. So it'll be interesting how Coin is able to attack this pitcher.
Yeah, this is a weird arsenal, huh? 2-seam, 4-seam, slider, and forkball. Doesn't have a changeup or a curveball. It's a slow roller. Still going to be able to get it over there at shortstop with a good arm. 2 quick outs now for the Black Roses. We'll also see if Elron's able to lock in his eye a little bit here. Swung at some bad balls in the 1st game. Pitching really fast. That's a weak forkball. He watches it.
I would note that if I'm Snowbird. Didn't react to the forkball.
Right. And there's a 3rd out. A really quick inning. Snowbird seems like she pitches insanely fast. I mean, even if you're a fast player, Elron seems like he is. If you're not batting well, sometimes it is better to slow down and try to change things up, especially when you're reaching out of the zone. Maybe slow down a little bit and try to lock that in. 22 pitches already in beginning of the 2nd inning here for Encryption. I'm going to say his name 10 times over this game until I have it down. Another fastball, full count now. Fastballs haven't been located so well, but Snowbird hasn't been able to react to them. Changeup, though, that one was right down the heart of the plate, and it's popped up. Is it going to find its way over the net? Bounces off.
Yeah, he was lucky there. That was a meatball that she'll typically take care of.
Easy slide, not able to get it over there. Reboot. 1 out single there for the Black Roses.
The 2nd baseman, number 99.
And Barry, welcome to the chat, brother. Good to see you in here.
The house is in the house.
Oh, slider right there.
Interesting. That was very hittable. seem to think it was coming.
A few pitches have been left over the heart of the zone, but Snowbird hasn't reacted in time to it. Kind of surprising the way she hit in game 1, but I bet when you get into those middle innings to late innings, Snowbird's going to start sending those yard.
Number 55.
Like you said, as that velo drops, maybe she's able to take advantage of it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he's gotten a little bit lucky, but he's also made a few. He's moving. He's mixing up his pitching really well. I think that's what's throwing Snowbird off. Is she seems to be surprised by what's coming quite often, which is never a good recipe.
Yeah, if you mislocate, at least if you mix your pitches up well enough against a power hitter, you can throw them off and not give them too many home runs. Here's a well-located two-seam on the outside after a quick pop-out from Elron. 1-1 count. I need to tell Snow. I want her to slow down a little bit. I can't hardly even tell what's going on. There's a fastball right down the middle. Able to get him out, though.
That's a good example. I can tell you, Uni, most times during the season that ball would be gone. But Elron's a little bit shaken up right now. Needs to find some confidence.
There it is.
Yes.
Just on cue. Mystery Man knows what he's talking about. Now Elron at home, able to get his confidence up and gets the home run to left field, 400 feet for T-Virus.
Yeah, another meatball, and you know, either of these players, that's going to eventually backfire.
Yeah, have you not been surprised at, honestly, just how many meatballs have gotten by these two? With the way these two can hit, it seems like they're getting 1 or 2 meatballs every at-bat, but a lot of them just aren't turning into much.
I think a lot of it has been that they've mixed their pitches well, and they've thrown the other player off, even though the location is not, like you said, if you mix your pitches, sometimes you can get away with a meatball.
Right. And for the first time this series, after game 1, never scoring a run and never getting up, Elron sees himself up 1-0. Obviously not going to be enough against a team like the Black Roses, but got to be good for the confidence to finally see one go over the fence and grab a lead, no matter by how much.
Yeah, any lead right now is a confidence builder for Elron. Oh, that's not a good pitch.
He's got walk prone on that pitcher, which could really be a problem with the way he's been locating. You'd like to think that he's going to stay out of 3-ball counts with that trait. But there's a good double from Snowbird, able to take advantage of it. Now another strong batter at the plate. The middle of this order is just extremely impressive, the way she's built it out. That fastball swung on a little late. Is it going to find its way out? No. Oh, and he does snag it. I thought it might get over the wall over there left field, but Reboot's able to get to it.
That's a monster play by the left fielder, as he seemed to be pinned to the side there.
Yeah. See, if I'm Elron, I'm walking this batter nearly every time up. He keeps pitching to this batter, and look at those stats. She's got strong batters in her lineup, but none built like this, and RBI Hero seems to have been engaged nearly every time.
Right, but this is why Elron's not a great pitcher. If this was Spliff Star or Burning Ice, this player's not getting a pitch.
Oh, and once again, late on the velo. I think he's getting away with some of these pitches, especially that's twice now this game already. That really strong 4-hole is struck out on the velocity. Lucky enough for Elron, and now Elron's shut the Black Roses down 3 innings and scored a run of his own. We'll see. The momentum is starting to shift a little bit. He's going to need more than 1 run, but I don't know. You might be able to know better than me. Is Elron that type of momentum player?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's a momentum player.
Number 16.
You know, once he gets his confidence.
Yeah, it seems the magic word for you is as soon as you say confidence, Elron's able to put a jolt into one, and there's a double off the wall, nearly a home run again. And now we've got a 1-out double, another chance to strike here for the help deskers. Seems like he's doing a better job watching the zone here. Getting in some better hitter counts. Location really hasn't been that bad from Snowbird. She's just pitching so fast.
Yeah.
Almost feels like she's putting the dot out of the zone. She's locating it, but the dot is out of the zone, so.
Yeah, oh, good location.
This is a big spot here. 1-1 count, Ace Exterminator engaged. This pitcher doesn't look like an A-. Slider gets it choked up on the hands.
Good enough location to trip him up. Yeah, if she leaves that about 2 inches more inside, that ball's gone.
Number 8.
Still, only 2 outs and the power that the help deskers have. This is one where, talk about momentum. If you can get a run or 2 across or a 3-run home run right here, everything changes. But it's not going to happen here. Lines out to the third baseman. Only 2 hits for the help deskers so far. A couple of walks and a home run. Black Roses come back up. Encryption still looking hot on the mound. Locked in. Junk is up a little bit. Gets the line out over there. T-Virus able to scoop it up.
Now batting, the catcher, number 3.
Really good pitching from Snowbird that last half inning. She was running some pitches to him that typically you wouldn't want to run, but she was getting him where she wanted, and it was just enough to keep him out of there.
Slider way outside. Pitch count starting to be a factor as we're seeing Locked In get a little bit hurt, a little bit evened out, I mean to say, by the pitch count. Once again, late on the fastball. Another good reticle.
There saved him after a couple chase pitches that she didn't go
nice.
after.
And we see back-to-back.
Suddenly locating, so maybe a little bit of confidence on the mound.
Right, that was with walk prone as well, and he's able to locate back-to-back pitches, but that one's not located. Elite slider doesn't matter. And he's not able to leap and get it, and now we see the game tied up. Black Roses with their 3rd or 4th home run of this series early on, and she shows what she's all about again.
Second baseman, number 99.
Yeah, again, that slider can be a fantastic pitch, but it is dangerous when you do exactly that, which is flash it across the face of the plate and not get it off. That's actually exactly what I was saying. Snowbird did well. She was throwing that exact pitch, but she was making sure that it got off the plate or at least into the corner.
Yeah, I think a lot of time you use the slider as an off-the-zone pitch. If you're a good pitcher, a lot of times you have that slider in your arsenal to get a chase. You're hardly going to throw it in the zone, as she just did right there and got a chase. Another good pitch from Snowbird.
Yeah, and it's a good pitch against Elron. Like I said, he does want that fastball. She's throwing the 2-seam well on a front backdoor the 2-seam, so I can see why this pitcher is effective for her. A lot of people would struggle throwing more this pitcher.
Another good location there. We're getting early swings from Elron a lot. Only at a 40 pitch count right now here with 2 outs in the 4th. Here's a slider in the zone.
Is if you're going to run a 2-seam with no cut fastball, you need to know how to use that 2-seam, and you have to use it effectively, because if you don't, you're basically facing a triangle arsenal, which most people can light up.
Man, I've been impressed by the Black Roses location. We didn't see her POV from the first game, but she's really getting that reticle in a good spot. It doesn't matter, though, because Elron's starting to get hot, and there's a misplay in center field. It's going to score one. It's going to be a triple. Happenstance is able to grab it out there finally all the way at the wall.
Yeah, and that was actually a fantastic pitch. It might have grabbed a tiny bit too much play, but it had the look of a great pitch. And now Elron's feeling it.
Yeah, now Elron's you're starting to see what Elron is here for. He is a good batter. He didn't show it in game 1, but he can bat really well. Even if Snowbird pitches as well as she has been. He gave that lead up with the solo shot, takes it right back here in the bottom of the 4th, and we've got a really tight, fun ball game here in game 2. And now takes a walk on the pitcher.
Whoa, that's a pitch I would think Elron would go after, just because it's a little too visible.
Uh-oh! Deep center field isn't going to find its way out. It's at the wall. Happenstance isn't able to get it. Now Elron and the help deskers, hello, they're helping themselves at the desk, as I would like to say, and it's 6-1.
Meatball to forkball, not necessarily the easiest pitch to hit, but when you meatball it, it becomes a lot easier.
Man,
and you know what also we saw there, Unicorn, is this stadium is fairly shallow to center, and that ball barely cleared. So the size of the stadium playing paying dividends for ElronCoin here at home.
Right, and we talked about, is home field going to matter because of the distance and things like that, but sure has it, because in the first game, Snowbird's home runs are all right field over there at Founders where it's short, and now Elron's able to get the biggest hit of this game to center field where it's short at Golden Field. So what we thought might not be a factor is really proven to be the biggest factor so far through game 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Venus Thigh Trap. What a great name. What a great name. I wish I was that clever. I just take MLB players' names and make them like slightly funny, but not enough where anyone's going to laugh.
You're just pissing people off.
I know. I like to misspell Dustin Pedroia just to piss Dwayne off, and I like to misspell Yankees especially to really get under Pseudo's skin. But we see a walk here after a deep shot to center field. That was a fly out. We've got speed on first base as Greensmith is up to the plate. Hits that one up center. Shortstop with a great play. Google it. Something I need to learn about is I'm always just asking questions first. He's able to make a great stop over there at short and get out of the inning. Help Deskers, all the momentum is swung back in their direction. Bottom of the 5th now in game 2 of your AAA semifinals. And game 1 was all Snowbird, but game 2 right now is all Elron. And he's looking to add to it.
Yeah, but one thing we should note, Unicorn, is Snowbird was down by at least this against Burning Ice in game 5. The most crucial game, and still came back. So if I'm ElronCoin, I've got my head down here.
Right. Yeah, we definitely talked about that in the pregame and brought it up a couple times. 4 or 5 runs doesn't mean that much. Even 8 runs feels like it's still in reach. But when you start getting into those later innings, it can be sketchier. But if you're Elron, you don't feel comfortable with 5 runs. You're trying to add to it here, and you have the momentum. Keep swinging the way you've been swinging, not like that. Swings on the cutter or the 2-seam inside, and there's the quick inning from Snowbird. After giving up 5 in the 4th, shuts it down in the 5th, and this might be the first time this series that DS hasn't had RBI hero engaged when he comes up to the plate.
Yeah, and I even though Elron has pitched a little better this game, I don't think this has been his pitching. I think Snowbird has just had a little bit of an off run here in this one. Just needs a couple line drives that actually get through somewhere, and then the confidence will really soar.
Right. Similar velo on both starters so far for the Help Deskers, but it seems the way he's been mixing up the velo. Hang on. Oh, he maybe could have dove for it, but not able to dive. Is he going to go? No, he doesn't go home. But no outs and a man on second and third. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Smart decision. See if the bullpen comes out here. Bullpen got roughed up pretty well in game 1.
Yeah, I was going to say this pitcher's in big trouble. I don't know what his bullpen is.
He had mid velo and low velo, but he did not show us the other two. And there's the Firewall, who we have not seen. This looks like his best reliever probably in the pen. Another 5-pitch arsenal out of the pen. Something you're not going to see a ton of. It seems like he's got 5-pitch arsenals on 3 pitchers out of that pen. There's another fastball. She's able to catch up to it. Good hit, yeah. Over there to right field, rounding third.
I was going to say, he's got to locate out of the gate here because she's probably looking fastball. And exactly there, good fastball, but it wasn't really located, and she got on it. Even though she was slightly late. Oh, that's a big play.
Yeah, huge from the Help Deskers there. They gave up a couple runs now in this inning, but a really great job right there, able to get the double play. Got the Black Roses reaching on a low pitch.
Not the worst thing for Snow, though, to push that run across because it's early enough. If it was the 8th inning, you'd say, oh, no. But just to get that run was worth it.
Another deep shot to center field from Snowbird. Doesn't go far enough. And 3-6, the lead was cut down by 2. And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning now. Here's the home run hitting Anna T. Virus up locked in with the game that she's been having. 600 average in the playoffs, and really if you look at the averages up and down this lineup, you're going to be hard-pressed to find one under 300. Chase is there, but able to get it to pay off, and now we've got a leadoff for the Help Deskers, and that's what you need. You just gave up a couple runs. If you're the Help Deskers, you really feel like you need to get those back now.
Yeah, and as opposed, if you're Snow, you really need a clean inning here to put a ton of pressure on the help deskers.
Yeah, exactly. This is how you build momentum. You score, then you have a shutout inning. A 3-pitch arsenal. I didn't see the reliever come in, but McCann has come in. 4-seam, 2-seam slider. Oh, God. What?
She's much better with this pitcher than you would think, Uni.
Able to take a walk there after a very lucky red reticle strike that located very well on the edge, and she thought it was funny as well. But 2 on with no outs here, and the help deskers looking to add some runs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 now, another hitter's count. Pokes that one left field. Is he going to round third? He's going to round. Decent arm. It's going to be a close play to play. He's going to be out.
Oh, boy. Wow. That wasn't even close.
That's tough. We'll see if he takes the reliever out. He just put this guy in.
I was just going to praise Elron because that pitch right there is exactly where his bat speed comes into play. And then he killed himself on the base paths.
Right. Able to get one across here, though. Oh, she goes home, and the pitcher's gonna be safe at first. The double play is set up, but gives up one.
Why would you throw home?
Oh, my gosh. And this might actually hurt. Oh, not quite enough speed, but squeaks another across. And a questionable play in the field is turned into now 2 runs, maybe 3. As he rounds third, is he going to challenge it again? No, thinks better of it this time. And the catcher drops it. Actually would have been safe probably this time.
Yeah, I just raved up this pitcher, but this is the type of pitcher when you get momentum, you can kind of expand the zone because you're not afraid of a changeup.
Right.
And that's what Elron's good at, is expanding the zone slightly to really put pressure on a weak or damaged pitcher.
Oh, that's a weak fastball behind it, though. Big at bat here with 2 outs. Chases on the 2-seam.
Yeah, so now he got a little bit.
He got there. He got there. Enough speed on the weak grounder, and help deskers haven't hit well, but now they poke one to left field, and man, we've got a big inning here for Elron and the help deskers.
Yeah, she awoke the sleeping giant with a couple, or at least one fairly large mistake there, and now he's feeling it.
Is that going to get through a drop? And the RNG's hurting. Is the speed going to get him there? And it's not this time.
Oof.
But somewhat of a lucky inning. A couple of good hits, but a couple of mistakes from the Black Roses. And after giving up 2, he's able to double it and pass it to the next person. He gets 4 there in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Roses just need to settle in here and pick off a couple of runs here. It's still early enough to just get 2 or 3 here if you can.
Yeah, we just saw her put up 10 in game 1, and it was just in a few innings. Down 7 here, 9 outs to play with. Pitch perfect is in, the reliever is out. 2-2 count for something guy. Full count, we'll see how aggressive. Elron hasn't walked too many, but he does walk 1 here. Leadoff walk with that pinch hitter. And that's not what you want in a situation like this. You don't want to give up free bases. We'll see if he's able to get a double play ball or something here. Now she's looking new base runner, yeah. Not too much speed, but respectable. We haven't seen a steal attempt yet. Haven't necessarily needed it in this game, the way these two have been putting stuff into gaps, putting stuff over the wall.
A dangerous hitter here. Very, extremely dangerous. You don't want to let her get on.
2-1 count now. Well located fastball, 2-2. Tough outs engaged. Look at that contact. Changeup. Ooh, these changeups have been just barely missed by the Black Roses. There's been some weak 2-strike changeups delivered by the help deskers on the mound, and she's just a little bit under them. Ooh, this batter looks tough. Locked in, power versus lefties. Misses thigh trap, walks up again.
Yeah, this is danger zone here if you're Elron. You need to be careful, even with the big lead here, because you don't want to give momentum.
Another changeup, and it gets by the second baseman. I thought he was going to dive, but he didn't.
Delivers it playable, but sometimes you're not sure. You don't want to dive if you don't have to.
Right.
Or I think that would have actually taken a jump to the side, which is a very difficult play to do. I know I have trouble with that. I'm much better at diving on the ground.
And we've got some danger here. It's an 0-2 count, but 2 on, 1 out. Black Roses have power. Any mistake pitch could really change the momentum of this ball game. 2-2 now.
You can't lose a changeup over the plate.
3-2. See if he comes at her. Curveball, and she's able to put it into center field. Probably going to hold them all.
Piece of hitting.
Yeah, holds them, and a great job right there battling. Being down 0-2, getting into a full count. Now you have to pitch to DS here after you've been pitching to him the whole series, and it really has not paid off, and you don't even get a choice here. Fastball hitter, RBI hero. We see a new reliever come in. Install got
Another lefty, though, so lefty on righty still for O'Rourke.
Misses up high. Won a huge at-bat here. And there's the fastball right to the second baseman. Uh-oh, unfortunate for the Black Roses. Exactly perfect to the reticled.
Oh, and that changes everything if it goes to the wall.
Wow, that's painful. That's just baseball right there. You do what you can, and you hit it with the perfect spot on the bat. Nothing comes of it. Swings at a changeup low, 2-2. Still has a chance to do some damage here, but once again, a line out, and wow, the help deskers really, they almost let the Black Roses crawl right back in this right there, but a great job. I mean, I don't mean to talk trash. Not necessarily a great job, kind of lucky, really, that a couple of well-struck balls went right to your infielders, but nonetheless, you're still up 7 in the bottom of the 7th now. See if you can maybe get a run rule of your own here after getting run ruled in game 1. There's a well-hit changeup on high pitch. Leadoff single. There is a new reliever in AC with the low velo, low junk, lower accuracy than some of her other builds. Chase is on a fastball. Only 3-pitch arsenal yet again. More typical 3-pitch arsenal here, though.
Yeah, this is a tough pitcher to throw against. Elron, they chases immediately.
Yeah, chases, but able to stay out of the double play because of the speed. Could have had 2 on, but 1 on, 1 out now. Once again, another person that needs to chop that last name in half.
Oh, that was under the zone. What a piece of hitting.
Yeah, like you said, he's able to get some hits out of the zone, does it right there, pokes one to center field. It seems like he's had a lot of shallow center field hits, and now the pitcher's going to come up. He thought about subbing, but I think it's a smart decision to keep her in. You got a 7-run lead. You already used your best reliever. Lays down a bunt. Is it going to roll back? I thought it might. 1-1 count. Uh-oh. That's why he wanted to bunt right there. Double play turned by the Black Roses.
That was interesting. She wanted to go with the curveball originally, but then she had an inkling to throw that fastball right into the corner, which I think she knew was dangerous, but she located it, and he rolled over it.
Yeah, we've seen notably the speed of Snowbird's pitching go down a little bit. Now, you could tell that she's respecting the way Elron's starting to bat and seeing that he's getting more comfortable. She's thinking a little bit more about each and every pitch. Needs 7 runs here. Top of the 8th here in game 2 of your final 4 in the AAA. Saw a great split yesterday, and Elron looking to get a split of his own here. That one's right field, not going to be deep enough. That might be the first play of the series that the right fielder's been able to get involved with that hasn't been over the fence. That one's deep right field. Is it going to find a gap? Center fielder is on a track. Is he going to dive for it? It's a tough dive drop. 24%. But, I mean, I don't know what his fielding is. I didn't catch it, but you would like to think that your fielder can make that most of the time.
Yeah, that's got to be caught. Didn't come up with it. It is a 7-run lead, so you're not going to go ballistic. But that ball really has to be caught.
Good pitch on the inside there. Comes right back at her. She's able to put this a lot of hits up center field. She does it again. Enough speed to round 3rd. And now we see a run scored because of the drop dive out there. It instantly hurts, and she's going to sub out now with that 0-0-0 build on the pitcher.
Number 13.
Howie play destroy. All right. What can he do here? Contact lefty is engaged. Dude looks like 6'6" at the plate, does he not? What is this stance? He looks so tall. Another one, shallow right field, and Snowbird's fighting off some really tough pitches. Elron, we haven't said enough this game. After everything I said in Game 1 about Elron's location, really looks a lot better here in Game 2, and I think that's a huge difference in this ball game right now while you're seeing only 4 runs from the Black Roses. But he's got to keep it up here. Danger on the base pass. And that one's deep center field. The curveball, is it going to get out? It's at the wall. A jumping catch. A ticket. Is he going to throw it to second? Cannon arm. And a double play. Wow. Back-to-back innings where the Snowbird seems like she might get this game with them reach, and the help deskers are able to get out of it.
Yeah, and all it was is happenstance. Doesn't really have a lot of power. She's a fantastic player. But the one thing she doesn't really have is power, and right. she really lined that up well. But what a play by Coin!
Yeah, you can't say enough how big that is. It would have been 7-10 and back-to-back innings with a lot of runners on the base path. And after that center fielder dropped that catch, he was able to make the biggest catch of them all. Great robbery over there in center field. Now the help deskers in firm control. Here in the bottom of the 8th, still up 6. But the way the Snowbird has been batting the last couple innings, I mean, sheesh. This 9th inning is going to be interesting no matter if Elron scores here or not.
Yeah, and a tough pitcher here, an absolute classic pitcher of the Black Roses, fairly quick, coming out of that bullpen with quite a bit of velo.
Yeah, another interesting arsenal, something you're probably not going to see on anyone else in the league. Chases, that's a third at-bat that he's chased just in this inning alone, but that one actually gets over the infield. That's something that's paid off for the help deskers. He's had some chases that have just gotten right over that infield. Not something you can rely on, but it's worked here in Game 2.
Yeah, and when you have a lead, it doesn't hurt to put a little bit of pressure on the opponent, even if you're expanding just a touch. You know what I'm saying? Is put the pressure on him.
Right.
Rather than being tentative at the plate, you want to continue the momentum. Even if it's just a lucky hit or two, you can really back them up.
Yeah, Game 2, AAA semifinals. We're into the top of the 9th, down 6 runs, but the best batters in this Black Roses lineup come up. She's put 7 runners on in the last 2 innings, so don't walk away from the screen yet. We've got a real opportunity here. If anyone's going to do it in the AAA in 1 inning, it's going to be Snowbird. And she looks to have started off a Venus thigh trap. I'm not sure what she's looking at. Maybe she's collecting herself.
Yeah, so some tough hitters here. She's going to get toward the bottom if she can keep this going. But you don't worry about that now because you can get some momentum with these big hitters, even if you have a little bit less coming behind them. Just get a little RNG in your favor.
Right. Oh, hit well again, but the second baseman. She's reticled well, just been not under him the same way she was in the first game, but more middle on these pitches. If she's able to get some momentum going here, this reliever is the last strong reliever in the pen for Elron, so really starting to drop on the velo junk. Another well-struck curveball, but that one's not going to get out. And now we've got 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Snowbird really has hit well. Another well-reticled ball right there, just low on the power. And now Elron is an out away from us seeing a split on both sides of the bracket in AAA.
Yeah, and I think you got to ride this pitcher now. She does have that elite curveball. If she gets in trouble, got blacked there though.
Ticket's able to stop it and hold it as a single. Man, I love watching that cannon arm. I had cannon arm on my team the first year in the league, and I loved it. It's so much fun. I love to see people have cannon arm on their players, but I was talked out of it. I was talked out of it when I got to the XBL. Like, no, bro, it's not going to matter. Which is true. I usually give up home runs, but it's good to see it actually in use.
And if your name is Pizza Volcano, you have cannon arm on basically all your outfielders all the time.
Not even a bad decision.
Your shortstop too.
Not even a bad decision. That's the fun way to play the game. It's so hard to guess the cannon arm. Really low velo. Another curveball swung on well. That one's going to be foul, though. Full count. 2 outs. Could be the last pitch of the ball game here. Curveball, and once again, Snowbird's able to put it up center field. Yeah, smart job not challenging going home. You need 6 runs. I would think that she's not going to move any extra bags on the base pass here. Now we might see the bullpen. We do. Reset server.
Yeah, I think at this point you got to come with somebody else. She was losing it.
Here's the only non-5 pitch arsenal we've seen from the help deskers here. The closer, 4-seam changeup curveball, looking to get that last out, that .1 inning save. Another well-located fastball.
Swing there, yeah.
And a late swing again, and now Elron and the help deskers able to get game 2 after a really impressive game 1 from the Black Roses. Now we see an impressive game 1 from the help deskers, and we've got a split on both sides of the AAA bracket. Let me get everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we could have got a better set here, to be honest. You know, we want this to go, you know, all 5 games, or at least 4 would be nice. And now it's going to do that. But like we said, we knew that Coin he didn't get out of the gate. He tripped out of the gate in game 1, and Snowbird came out fired up and a little bit more confident, I think. And then game 2, I think things just played out in a way that favored Coin. And he really did a good job of taking advantage of that by really going after her when he saw a wounded animal out there, because you can't let her get up, because once she gets up, you're in trouble.
Yeah, like you said, I think when we look at the points that we touched pregame, I think they really showed out. Not the comeback potential that we saw, but we saw 10 runs from both of them. At 1 each in each game. We saw the offensive firepower. We saw the run differential. The reason I wanted to note that in the keys is because they just don't play a ton of close games. You see them really take control of ball games, and we saw Snowbird do it in the first, get hot, take control of that ball game in the middle innings. We see Elron in the early to mid innings take advantage of game 2. And then we were wondering about the home field advantage, and it really paid off for both teams at their own home field. So the keys really showed themselves tonight, and as a 1 and 5 seed, both of these two show why they are the seed they are in a really even and competitive AAA division this year, or league. But I think it's going to be a really fun series. We expect high scoring. We saw 2 high scoring games. It was only 1 on each side pretty much in games 1 and game 2 that they put up so many runs. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how these two adjust on the mound, because we've talked about the location being so important when facing batters like this, and the way that these two, they have the higher end on runs scored per 9 against them. But we saw Snow seem to really locate well in both games. Elron just he hit better in game 2, and then Elron seemed in that second game to really lock in his location, and we saw it come to fruition as Snowbird was only able to put up 4 or 5 runs. So I think it's going to be, this is 7 games, I think, in the semifinals, I believe. And I think this is easily a 6 or 7 game series. And we saw that tonight, that either of these two can catch fire at the plate and win by 10 runs.
Yeah, I mean, we clearly learned what we already knew, which was it's probably not going to be a cakewalk either way. And we saw that both offenses can go off, both pitching staffs can be a bit streaky. And then also a lot of it has to do with which arsenals work against which, kind of like you said, who's gonna adjust. But really location is the biggest thing, and they both showed they can locate, and they both showed when they don't locate, bad things can happen. But again, I think it was really the biggest thing in this 2 games so far was that Snow was feeling really good at the plate in game 1. Not so much in game 2, and Elron got off that 1-run lead early that kind of got him jacked up. He was able to keep her down for a couple innings, and then he kind of eventually went off. So exactly what we expected from these 2 really high quality AAA players, high end AAA players. And I'm just looking forward to what else happens here.
Yeah, like you said, I think my biggest takeaway would be, normally when you look at players any league, AA, AAA, XBL, it doesn't matter who the player is, how good. Maybe you can exclude like the top 2 or 3 in the XBL, but your consistency is usually struggling at the plate. Even the best batters have struggles at the plate. But I think when it comes to this series, it's going to be the consistency on the mound, the consistency in the field, because they're both able to reticle balls well, even if they don't score runs like we saw in Game 2. Snowbird had a lot of really well-struck balls that just did not find gaps. So I think the pitching is going to be huge in finding the consistency. But regardless, we see a split yesterday between Billy and Spliff in a really, really great set. And y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We're running back-to-back every other day in these series for this week. That's why we called it the AAA Final Four week. We're going to try to get y'all all of the Final Four in the AAA this week. And from Spliff's own mouth in the cast, Game 3 is apparently in their series a truly epic, one of the all-time classic games. Obviously, as casters, we don't watch it ahead of time, but y'all make sure y'all tune in for that tomorrow. But for tonight's game, a great split. We saw a lot of high scoring. We saw a little bit of everything. Great fielding. We saw some good location. We saw even better batting. And I think it showed that we're in for a really, really great series between Snowbird and ElronCoin, exactly like we would expect. Really excited to throw this one back on the official page on, I guess that would be Friday, that we're going to bring it back at y'all. And we're going to bring you 3 and 4, possibly 5, see how it works out. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what we want to do. But great split from these two. It's good to see competition, exactly what you would expect in the AAA. Such an even league, such a competitive league. So it was really fun casting. Mist, if you have any final words, I'll let you throw them in before I get us out of here.
No, it's like you said, we're doing all AAA this week. Both series are looking like complete fire. Spliff Star's been hitting all of a sudden. Put up, I think, 10 against Billy, which he's going to have to continue to do because Billy's not going to be held down, just as these two are not going to be held down. So, Spliff Star has improved so much. It'll be, I don't care what the matchups are here in the finals. It's going to be really good. So, at this point, both series are a coin flip, and we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. That's something I do want to touch on real quick. We've got the 3 top batters in the AAA in this Final Four, and then you see an outlier like Spliff, who's just an absolutely dominating pitcher, which shows there's one outlier, and that can really help you in a series, especially in the playoffs, being an outlier. And Spliff is that. We saw him put up 10, but the pitching was really phenomenal from him all season. So, yeah, like I said, AAA running all week. Then next week, I believe we're going to try to run the AA World Series, then start up the XBL semifinals. So it's the awesome time of the year, the busy time of the year for us in the booth, busy time of the year for y'all that watch. But we've got a lot of stuff coming at you. Thanks for watching tonight, everybody. That was a really fun set. Congratulations to both of these two, able to get a win under their belt in the semifinals, and that's always a good feeling. That always keeps things fun for everybody the closer the series is. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we will catch y'all in the Discord, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow with Dwayne and to be decided, maybe Hummus in the booth. I'm not sure. Maybe Zlat. So y'all make sure you tune in tomorrow night for another AAA semifinals matchup. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night.